Right, Josie, we're talking, this is basis 2023, and your basis in Glastonbury. So tell us all about what you're doing down in Glastonbury on the 16th and 17th of December. Is that the correct date?
That is correct.
Good.
Yes, look, everybody is welcome. We have a conference on the 16th and 17th of December. We're having an event down in Glastonbury. Now we're having a fairy blessings and a discussion about sort of the energy lines and so forth on the Saturday, and that'll be in the Chalice Well kind of area. We'll also be going to the White Springs and the tour, and then followed by that we're going to have a meal together. Sort of people can opt in. That's a separate
Well,
thing.
first thing is, where do we get the tickets?
Well, the tickets, if you look at the bottom of this page, you can go in and find it. It's at tickettailor.com /events/basis project Xmas conference Glastonbury.
Is that all one word? Basis Xmas
All one,
conference.
yes, all one word, all one word. So we'll have links provided for it. Now
Okay, Josie, where do people meet up in Glastonbury so that they all get together and can go to this wonderful day of
once people buy the tickets, we have an itinerary which is sent out to them, with all of the details about sort of where we're going to meet, the times and so forth, just so as there's no confusion. And so it means that we have the details and we can keep everybody up to date.
Okay, what about people? What about people who just turn up on the day and they don't know where to go and they can't join? What about that?
We're asking people to buy tickets in advance, Miles, for this.
So this is a strictly ticket-only event.
It's ticket only, unfortunately, so it means that we can manage things a bit better with regards to numbers, because we have to get access into places like the White Springs, and that just takes a bit of logistics.
So you need to have pre-arrangements, and that's why there's no turning up at the last minute. Hey, I want to go and see Josie and the basis thing. That's not going to happen. What about the Sunday?
The Sunday we have the formal conference. We're having that at the Red Brick Building, which is halfway between Glastonbury and Street, just above the Glastonbury Canal. If you go to the ticket sales at tickettailor.com, events basis project Xmas conference Glastonbury, then you'll see a map that comes up where exactly the Red Brick Building is. Now we have a series of speakers. We have the very wonderful Maria Wheatley. We've got Bob Osbourne. We've got Pat Noone, the very popular.
No, just the thing about Bob is he's not going to deliver not going to deliver a speech or a lecture. He's going to be wanting questions about Zennor and Cornwall and the whole Aldous Huxley, D.H. Lawrence, humanism, transhumanization, Fabian agenda stuff, and the whole Crowley, and the whole thing going on during World War One, and a whole pile of other artists and wonderful people who've been to Zennor. So that's what he's going to be wanting. So he's not going to be delivering a presentation. So people need to do a little bit of head scratching to see what do they want to ask Bob about.
Exactly. That's the thing. Was it Bob has a lot of insight into things and he's got a very practical attitude with regards to sort of approaching some of these matters. So I know a lot of people that are very interested in how he approaches tuning in. He connects with the likes of Aldous Huxley and D.H. Lawrence and Crowley, and into their sort of stream of consciousness, and people are kind of interested in how he does this. He was saying that he had connected with the likes of Robert Graves, and through that stream of consciousness that opened the door up for him. So he can maybe sort of discuss that with us. That's going to be fascinating to.
Now he's done an interview with you already, hasn't he?
He has. It was very insightful. We discussed the likes of fairy and so the mermaids in Zennor, but it just followed on from the 4 or 5 other interviews that he'd done with you, Miles, and he has a great handle on these things. He's what's known as intuitive, very like Pat Noone, the fairy doctor.
And explain Pat Noone.
Now, Pat Noone is he's a third generation fairy doctor and farmer from East Galway, and he has again he works intuitively. He's a healer, but he also has a farm that their family have the ferry to exist very comfortably. So people come from around the world, literally on a daily basis. There's people come from America, Canada, whatever. Every single day of the week, he has buses turning up to go and connect with the ferry, and he has a great insight with regards to genus loci, working with the land and working spiritually. He also is a healer. Now he's available. You can contact him on Facebook, and he can do healings throughout the weekend. Just if anybody wants to book that as well, that's something that he can do. But he does. He works with what's known as the irons, and he works with all of these charms to heal people. And it's actually it's a strong healing. You can really feel a big change and a big energy shift whenever he starts working with people. He's really quite phenomenal. Now he's very popular. I mean, his YouTube videos would get in the region of some of the videos get in the region of 300,000 views. I mean, he's a very popular man, so it's going to be a delight to bring him over to Glastonbury and to see. So he's really, really looking forward to it. He runs a number of conferences and special events at his place in Galway too. So so that's going to be another delight. The other thing is we have Maria Wheatley, and she's going to be focusing in on basically a masterclass on working with earth energies. So it's an upper level. So I'm kind of asking people to really get up to speed, so we can launch straight into high level work with Maria. So she was with you, Miles, and she was discussing Egyptian processes and energy, working with magical squares, and this sort of moves
That's
things on. It's more
the
of a
law of the
European,
squares.
yeah,
That's
yeah. She
actually
moves.
something that John Searle used to build flying is generate a particular type of hyper efficient energy device called the Searle effect generator. But she did this in what I ran as a sort of little small scale Egypt special in a small village hall in Alton Barnes earlier in the year. And there has been enough interest to have another bigger conference on that. The other first time speaker at that event was with Sayed, and he's an Egyptian. He used to be head of accounting for the artifacts in Luxor, and he's extremely well studied and completely unknown. And he has got a very, very important key message that he's seen within all of the positions of the artifacts and the pyramids themselves. And that's his story. And we're going to be doing a lot on him as a masterclass here at Bases. But okay, so who else you've got turning up on the Sunday?
We have a certain Mr. Miles Johnston, and I know there's a lot of people interested in listening to yourself, Miles. There's because you're sort of behind the camera a lot of the time, and you have such interesting stories. And there's people actually coming and specifically want to listen to hear what you have to say. So, so it's going to be
just to let
great.
people know, in the good old days of the Irish UFO Research Centre way back in the 1970s, I was very happy to be part of a small team which also worked with a good group in Dublin called Spectrum. And that's way back in the 70s. And we did a lot of work there. And unfortunately, a lot of it has disappeared because we published a thing called the Irish UFO News. And that was my sort of background in it. I've been in the UFO business since I've been about 5. And then there's somebody else turning up, isn't there?
The emphasis on the Sunday is we're going to be looking at working with earth energies, the likes of sort of was it Bob and his Fabian agenda, and also dealing with the likes of personal sovereignty. Over and above sort of is really we're being encouraged to look at basically personal sovereignty. Now Merlin has been coming through for a number of different people, and what Merlin is saying to people is basically it's time for you to start becoming responsible for yourself. It's really, we have a number of special guests lined up that we can confirm closer to the time, and I'll be discussing things to do with it's very interesting with regards to how we're going to sort of move forward. There's discussions about techno rebels, about sort of how people can put the foot down with the authorities and say no to all of transhuman agenda. And
that's the whole point about this, is that the connection goes way back to the World War One, before that into the 19th century, and the plans they have been hatching against us have been planned for a very long time, and we have very little time to catch up on that.
I think what we're seeing is we're seeing the grids, and we're actually beginning to see it more clearly now that sort of things are sort of closing in, and that basically is we're just going to just stand back, take a breath, and see how things are going, and sort of connect with the spirit of the land, and sort of say, okay, look, well, what do we have to learn here, and what can we do? And that's really sort of a coming together of maybe not solutions, but maybe looking at different opportunities for a way forward.
And then I'll be doing on December the 9th, and Saturday, December the 9th, is a Basis 2023 Christmas seminars to sort of round off the year of the various lectures and seminars done either in studio or in different venues here in Wiltshire and other places. And that will have Michael Shrimpton, who's a veteran intelligence analyst, was jailed for blowing the whistle on an enemy plot to blow up the London Olympics. And he got an NSA satellite over the relevant area and located the nukes as they were being transported into submarines off the coast of Kent. So he's had a very hard time. He will be lecturing on the technical military aspects of the Ukraine war. And that's very important to understand who's got what and why this and whatever. There's going to be myself speaking, and I'll be speaking principally to discuss and remember Lisa McKenna Williams, who died about a couple of years ago. She was key with Barry King on unearthing the fact that we were making aliens, programmed, generated life forms, i.e. the agenda to the cyborg. We were making them here in Berkshire, in England, and that was key. It goes right back to World War II and the Germans. We then have Sandy Adams, and she's just returned from Brazil, and she'll be talking about the continuing Agenda 30 and so forth. And she did visit Ireland, and she was prevented from speaking in Ireland. I understand David Icke's also been banned in Ireland. So for somebody who used to be in the pirate radio business and with so many wonderful creative people in Ireland for so long, for 20 years, I was part of all that in the background, or built my own big stations with some really good forward-thinking people. It really does break my heart the way Ireland has become a captured state, as this country in the British Isles are doing it. So it's really sad for me to see that, and the key of these good people who have been coming forward for the Basis project who are literally passing on. And we've got Lucy Wyatt, who's published a book, Approaching Chaos: Could an Ancient Archetype Save the 21st Century Civilization? Now, Lucy Wyatt is a qualified is a mathematician, and she has sponsored and put on a lot of the major electric universe conferences, and so she's very welcome at the Basis project. She'll be doing 2 talks. So we got Sandy Adams, Lucy Wyatt, Bob Osbourne, and Bob Osbourne, as we say, he will be prompted by your questions and the detail of the scale of the Fabian agenda, which is one little term which puts the whole thing together. Because if you look up Julian Huxley's website, you will see their agenda in full swing there. Make us cyborgs, implanted cybernetic humans within a number of years, 10 or 15 years or less. And then, of course, Michael Shrimpton. And The links are on the screen, and it's really a big thing for the Basis Project to join with Josie and her team from Ireland. I'm very honoured to have this team coming over to Glastonbury, and we'll be joining Basis 2023. We'll be handing off to Josie's team in Glastonbury for the following weekend. And thank you very much, Josie.
Oh, it's going to be a delight. We're going to have a Christmas dinner, I think, on the Sunday evening, straight after the conference in the restaurant that's attached to the conference facility. So it'll be a lovely weekend. So I think everybody's looking forward to it. It's just dress for weather on the Saturday, so because we'll be outside loads, but it's going to be a fantastic weekend. So I hope as many people can come along, and look forward to seeing you all.
And just one more shout out to, how do people get tickets for your event?
Again, if they want to look at the link below, go to tickettailor.com, events, Basis Project, Xmas Conference, Glastonbury.
And for Basis 2023, it's Eventbrite, Basis 2023 Eventbrite Christmas Seminars. And that should get you through to the December 9th, Saturday only event in Pewsey. And thank you very much, Josie. It's really great to see you at Glastonbury.
Yeah, just one more thing. We've been asked if we can do buy conference tickets, so we've made those available. So if anybody wants, if they can only sort of manage an hour out of their day to come in and sort of enjoy the dialogue, they can actually go on to sort of the Ticket Tailor site, and they can choose options for specific speakers, and they can buy a ticket for a specific speaker.
Well, obviously, all the tickets will be probably not for me, so I'll be hounding people out if they don't have a ticket, Josie. If they don't have a ticket to see me, I'll hound them out of the building.
I'm afraid we're going to have to sort of give them a nice comfortable seat in the back, and so it's going to be a bit more work, but it gives people just options if they can only manage a couple of hours in the day. This is another opportunity for folk, and it'll be just another opportunity.
So when does Sunday start?
Sunday starts we'll be gathering together at 10:30, and then the first speaker starts at 11.
Great. And for the December 9th tickets, doors open at 9:30, first speakers at 10 o'clock on Saturday in Pewsey, right beside the railway station, opposite the fire station in Pewsey. And I'll see you then.